Hey, this is Sarah at Red Dog Studio. This is the fleece video. There's lots of chatter lately about the types of fleece, what should be used for hybrid fitteds. So I have got 5 types of fleece here I'm going to show you. I've got 2 Windpro with DWR finish fleeces, Polartec, and then I have 2 samples of Polartec Classic 200, and then I have an anti-pill fleece from JoAnn's. Now, a quick note about JoAnn's, as everybody knows, they've recently changed suppliers or distributors or what have you, and people are finding that the fleece is absorbing water. Now, I'm using a fleece I've used for my experiments a few weeks ago. It was anti-pill fleece that I picked up from JoAnn's this past fall. I never used it for diapers. I was using it to make items for my children, but I had a piece, so I decided to try it. And what I found was pretty shocking, as I know a lot of people used it in their fitteds, and I will show you what I found. So let me just run through these really quick. So this is Polartec Windpro with a DWR finish, and this is called Hard Face, and I'm not sure if my camera is picking it up because it's so dark, but it has this grid on it. You can kind of see it. So this is the hard face. It's smooth, and the other side is a low velour face. You see it's kind of what you would think of as fleece. It is pretty thin and it's very stretchy. I think this has a little bit of spandex in it, like 80% polyester, 10% something else, and 10% spandex. I can't remember. At any rate, so this is the Hard Face Windpro with DWR finish. Second fleece is again Windpro. It also has DWR, but it is a velour, low velour finish. So one side is a velour, one is a low velour, and that's just low, indicating the height of the pile. I honestly have no clue which side the DWR is on, and you'll see here shortly it doesn't really matter. So this one is the Polartec Classic 200, and I can't remember what the finishes are, but I think these are velours. It's a different finish on one side than the other. This is the Classic 200 from Polartec. Is the only fleece that I use for my longies. It's, in my opinion, absolutely amazing. It's an anti-pill fleece. Generically, it's an anti-pill fleece, and it's just Polartec calls it Classic 200. You can get Classic 200 with a DWR finish. The ones that I have do not. This again is Polartec Classic 200. This is, again, I think a velour finish. This is what I think they call Sherpa on this side. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% positive. And this is the anti-pill fleece that I picked up at JoAnn's this past fall. It's not focusing. You get the idea. What's really interesting, this is about the same thickness as the Windpro, actually just a little bit thicker maybe. But the 200, I will try to line these up on the counter so you can really see, but the 200 is very beefy. Oops. All right, so I'm just gonna run these under water. Again, I did an experiment where I would bead like a teaspoon of water on each square, and I let it sit for half an hour. And then I did an experiment where I did the same thing, but then I applied pressure to it with something that was weighted, let it sit for half an hour, and I can tell you that the Windpros and the 200 did not wick through at all. But you'll see with the JoAnn's, just running it underwater, it does not repel at all. So let me get this set up and I'll show you. Okay, hopefully this will work. I'm gonna run through these one by one. This is obviously not really indicative of real life situation. But I think I just wanted to run the water over it so you can sort of see the repelling properties. Again, this is Polartec Windpro with DWR finish, hard face. This is the hard face side. And you can see the water is just beating. It just doesn't even want to stay on. Let me see if I can turn this down a little bit. Look at it. There we go. So I can pull it, I can capture it. It just rolls right off. Obviously, with a baby in a diaper, there's going to be pressure. Okay, here is the velour, low velour Windpro with DWR. Again, I haven't the slightest idea which face has the DWR on it. My guess is it's this one, but no clue. So let's just see what happens. It's not rolling off as much as the hard face, but it does not wick through, and it's pooling right on top. See, and it's gonna roll right off. And you'll see it's a little bit wet on this side, but it is not wet at all on the other side. And my experiment verified that. It didn't wick through. So now I'm trying the other side. Maybe this is the side with the DWR, I'm not sure. Again, it's just pooling. It's kind of rolling right off. I mean, it is getting caught in the pile of the fleece. That's what's happening there. But it is not wicking through. Okay, so this is the Polartec Classic 200. It does not have DWR finish. And I think this is usually the side again, I use these for my longies. I think this is the side I put towards the diaper, but you see again, it's sort of rolling off. It's doing pretty much almost the same as the Windpro with DWR did. Let me try to pull it. It's pooling in the pocket here. Rolls right off. I'm going to just do the other side so you can see. I don't know if you can see this, but it did not wick through. Okay, so now I'm doing the outer side, or what I would use on the outside. Again, it's pooling, and it just kind of rolls off. Okay, it's already kind of wet for my hands, but this is the Classic 200 again with the Sherpa side, or with the Sherpa finish on the one side. Again, it's pooling, and it just kind of rolls right off. Let me try the other side. Same thing. This stuff is amazing. I think anyway, and I'm really glad that I use it for my covers and longies. Again, no DWR. Okay, this is JoAnn's anti-pill fleece. Again, I need to make a note that I bought this last fall. I would love to see other people doing this with their JoAnn's anti-pill fleece, because I know a lot of people used it with success in their diapers. But here's what happens. It's immediately it's absorbing. And I don't know if you can see, it's not pooling at all, but it's going right through. I used bamboo fleece as a control in my experiment, and it performed exactly the same. Again, maybe I got a bad batch of anti-pill fleece, so hopefully maybe somebody could do a comment and direct me to maybe a video that they've done showing me different results. So take your own conclusions from this. Hopefully it was helpful.